Hi, and welcome to Birds with Bottle.
We've got a thing about wine,
And we want you to have a thing about wine too.
and this week we're going organic.
Yes, because there's an increasing interest in all things natural.
So that's food, and of course grapes, grown without synthetic chemicals.
Yeah, now historically, the organic movement had a bit of a bonkers image about it, didn't it?
Yeah, the sort of earth mother with a hemp bag and a beetroot dyed skirt.
Yeah, but when it comes to wine, there are several reasons why you might choose to buy organic.
Yeah, but taking the organic out of it all, these wines are crazily good, and that's what it's all about.
For our first white, we've got the Pierre Walter Verdicchio Classico Reserva. It's the 2008 vintage, and it's available from Vintage Roots at $14.95.
Now, if you want to buy organic or biodynamic wines, Vintage Roots is absolutely the place to go. Now, we started with quite an expensive wine, and please don't think all organic and biodynamic wines are expensive, because they really are not, as you'll find out later.
Now, this one is biodynamic as well, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's already, you can see it's quite a dark, rich colour.
Which has got a bit of age on it too as well, hasn't it? Lovely fresh nose. I mean, Mel's already in there. I haven't even smelt it yet. She's already in there.
Sometimes.
She likes this one.
I'm not very keen on Verdicchio.
Don't sit on your organic willow fence, will you now, Mel?
No.
'Cause,
Okay. I dislike very nearly all Verdicchio. It has to be said. Until this, I had never had a good one, and this is a whole different ball game. It is a rich and exciting wine that, in a blind tasting, I don't think any of us would get as a Verdicchio. Isn't it gorgeous?
Wow.
It is so full flavoured.
It's so intense, isn't it? It's really, really intense. There's a little vein of a sort of saline vein running through that, and
Almost
citrus,
bitter.
yeah, but some citrus freshness, some roundness of the fruit, which you don't really expect with
No.
Verdicchio at all.
No. Now, they also sell one that isn't Classico Reserva, that's cheaper, but push the boat out, because this is really worth tasting.
Yeah. So, what's biodynamic all about? Come on, Mel, explain it all.
Well, it's an ideological approach to viticulture. That's the growing of vines. It's influenced by Rudolf Steiner, and it views the soil as an integral part of the symbiosis between the planet, the air, and the cosmos.
Now, it does, if that doesn't
what it
sound
is.
weird enough for you, it also involves some rather strange processes,
It
doesn't
certainly
it?
does, yeah.
Like burying a cow horn full of manure over the winter.
Yeah, and also when this manure comes out of the cow horn, they put a very small amount of it in a great big barrel full of water, and they stir it one way and then they stir it the other way, and that's dynamising it. It's weird stuff, and there's a lot of calendar watching and doing things at the right time of the moon's phases. It is a bit odd.
Yeah, but it might all seem a bit peculiar, but when you taste some of these biodynamic wines, and this is a prime example,
Isn't it?
there is an intensity there that's very hard to explain.
Yeah, I'd say it'll probably be the cosmos. Our second wine is the Wine Society's Exhibition Riesling 2011, which is £12.50, obviously from the Wine Society.
Now, the exhibition wines are the Society's premium range,
Yeah.
isn't it? So it's
Yeah.
their sort of step up.
Yeah, and this is made by Joss Mayer in Alsace in their biodynamic vineyard.
Now, lovely petrolly nose on that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and grapefruit.
It's bone dry, isn't it? Bone dry and
Yeah. Anyone that
pure.
thinks that Riesling is just a sweet German wine, no, it's not. It's a fabulous as well French wine that can be made in a totally dry way. Oh. racy acidity in there, isn't it?
I'm just trying to think how it compares to an Australian. And I think Australian Riesling tends to have more really strong lime pith.
Yeah.
The zesty, lime, really limey taste. And this doesn't have that, but it has that dry, and it has the force. It's a very, very exciting wine.
It is. It really is.
Possibly not for beginners.
Yeah. For our first red, we've got the Domaine de Brau Pure Cabernet Franc 2011, and this one's again from Vintage Roots, and it's £11.50 a bottle.
Get your nose round that. Wow. Wow.
Oh, that has got a real, it's a very, it's like a normal Cabernet nose, only more intense.
It's just lovely.
There's a stalkiness there, but
and
wow.
And there's a cedary. There's something cedary. It's
there is.
Just lovely, but it's not.
There
doesn't.
is.
It smells as if it's going to be really ripe.
Yeah. Now this is from down in the Languedoc and in France, naturally.
Not the usual place for Cabernet.
No.
Well, it's beautiful, isn't it? It does everything you want
I
a
love
Cabernet Franc to do.
I love Cabernet Franc, and I love this one. It's
juicy.
It's sublime.
It is sublime.
The tannin is there but smooth. There's cedary notes. There's almost like a kind of minty
There's
edge.
enough fruit, isn't there?
There's
It's just beautiful. It's got quite nice packaging.
yeah, very modern looking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really, really a stunner on all fronts.
And then there's a sort of coffee aftertaste.
Yeah, yeah, there is.
It's really good.
There is, and that took a while to come. The length on this is extraordinary.
And actually, £11.50. This is a great dinner party wine.
It is.
Really, really excellent. So, Sandra, why would I buy organic wines?
Well,
Apart from the evidence in the glass.
yeah. Well, you might have an intolerance to sulphur. That's the first reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sulphur is in just about every single wine. It's made in, in the production process, but it has to be significantly reduced for a wine to be organic, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And I suppose you might be concerned about the synthetic herbicides, pesticides and fertilisers that they use in the vineyard.
Yeah. Or you might just think, like this, that the wine tastes better.
Yeah.
Now, that's a bit of a leap of faith, because have you got something to compare it to? Have they made this wine in a non-organic way? You can't,
Yeah.
there's no way of doing it. Now, the nearest thing I've got is that my friend introduced me to organic milk, and I've never bought organic milk, and I tasted the two, one against the other, skimmed milk, and the organic one had a richness and an intensity of flavour, yeah, that the other one didn't have. And even better, it lasts longer.
That's hard to believe.
It can be open several days past its use-by date, and you've had it open for 5 or 6 days and it's still okay.
Gosh. You see, I find that hard to believe, but it's Sandra, so it must be the truth. And actually, if organic things taste better, then isn't that what it's all about? Now, you mustn't think that you have to spend a fortune on organic wines, because this Emiliana O Syrah 2010 vintage is only £7.99 in Tesco.
And we think the O is for organic.
Yes.
But it's so delicious, it could be just for
And you can already see it's a New World wine. It's the bubbles are pink. It's clearly.
And
smell it
as
already.
Mel is pouring it there, I'm just getting pepper out of the glass. Lovely sort of a white pepper note jumping up at me, which is really quite divine.
It is so rich. It is so sweet. It is so, you can just tell. It's such ripe fruit,
Yeah,
isn't it?
dark, ripe fruit.
Almost don't want to taste it because it's so beautiful to smell.
Oh,
That is a cracking wine, isn't it?
it is. That's blackcurrant and lovely, lovely firm hit of oak on that, but not rough at all. Very smooth tannin.
Really dark fruits, a bit of licorice. The alcohol is 14%, and you can taste. You know, it's a very much a New World wine.
And that licorice is really coming on the end, isn't it? It's not there as you just start to taste it, and you get the fruit, and then you go on to this sort of spicier licorice kind of
just
hit.
Lovely.
Absolutely delicious. Oh,
now they haven't got this in my little Tesco, so you might not find it in every branch, but they've certainly got it online. And I think if you order it online, you get club card points as well.
Result. So right, Mel, what are we looking for if we want to buy an organic wine?
Well, strictly, we shouldn't be saying organic wines, because although we all refer to them as organic wines, they are in fact wines made from organically grown grapes. But you know, so what you're going to find on the back label is a little logo. You can't really see this because it's too far away. A little logo which might say the Soil Association or EcoCert, EcoVin, depending on the region or the country that it comes from. And it's just to show that it's been certificated as organic.
Yeah, so just look out for those. The trouble is that the French, rather confusingly, when they say bio, they don't actually mean biodynamic, they just mean organic, don't they?
Yes,
so
just to confuse us.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And for the record, just in case you're wondering, bio has nothing to do with any of that. That's a wine region in Chile.
It is. So, whether you buy into the organic biodynamic thing or not, and I think we've bought into it, I think, haven't we?
I think these wines,
yeah, these wines show,
they
really do show
that really does work.
Yeah, absolutely. So have a go, because I think it would be daft not to try.
See you next time.
See you next time.